To know how I finally kicked comparisonitis to the curb. I used to be such a sucker for comparisonitis. You see, I'm a really good student and I would watch and learn from all of the mentors and gurus that I could find that I thought had the secret sauce for my success. And whilst I did learn so much from them and I'm so grateful to them, they also kept me stuck in a holding pattern for years. So here's how I broke that pattern and how you can too. My name's Lorraine Hamilton and I'm an executive coach and I'm the principal coach trainer at Coach School. By far the most common problem that I see in my coaching practice is my clients setting the wrong goals. Now, it's not their fault. They've read the books, they've done the research and they've taken the advice of the gurus, but they still seem to end up stuck. And they're not necessarily in the wrong business, but they are following mentors without considering those mentors drivers for success. I know because I spent years doing it too. You see, we all have our own drivers for success. That's our core values. But not everybody's values are the same. They're either subtly or extremely different. And unless you're using your values to your advantage, they could actually be hindering you. The rub came for me when I realized that most people don't actually know what their values are. Now, you might be watching this video and thinking, of course I know what my values are. But unless you've really consciously checked in with them recently, I would invite you to think again. Our first set of core values and their priority come from our parents, our teachers, and other key influencers. And then significant life experiences will also alter them. But that's about as much thought as most people give their own values. They either want to maintain their family values or they want to do the opposite of what their parents did. The fact is that your values and their priority are fluid, depending on what you're doing, what you're working towards, and what you're focusing on. You've got different values at play in different circumstances and different situations. So what has this got to do with comparisonitis? Well, when we compare ourselves to others, we're comparing our results, but not our reasons. And it's our values that give us our reasons. So when we let other people determine our success measures, it can be difficult to, measure up. I spent years feeling like a failure, even though I was following all the steps that the gurus were teaching me. I was taught to feel the fear and do it anyway. Well, I sure did feel the fear, that's for sure. And I did it anyway, but it didn't work. And it just fed this cycle of failure. Now, now I still do feel the fear. Let me be clear. I still do feel the fear, but it's a different kind of fear. It's a values aligned fear. And I use it to propel me through the challenge rather than pushing me to retreat. Now, you may have seen one of my more recent videos where I talk about that. My natural default is that I want to retreat away from growth and an expansion, even though that is something that I want. There is a part of me that wants to retreat from that. But now knowing why I'm feeling that way through my values, it really helps me to feel the fear and use it to propel me rather than to fight against that feeling of retreat. So when you realize that not only are your values different, your definitions of those values are different. So you might have someone that you really respect and they are very open about what they value. You might find that you have some commonality there with what you value, but your definition of that word is probably somewhat different to their definition of that word. And that's an important distinction to make. Okay, now I have discovered this over years of coaching hundreds of clients. So you may be using a similar vehicle if you're in business and you're using your business as your means to success to achieve what you want to achieve in your life. Then you may be using a similar vehicle to your mentors and gurus, but your driver is not the same. And when you realize that the vehicle might be the same, but the drivers are ever so slightly different, that's when you realize that everyone is truly running their own race. So you need to get crystal clear on your values. And if you need help with that, I offer a one-off session using the process that I have refined over those hundreds of clients and many years of coaching. And that's going to help you to realize that you are the only one running your race in your field for your reasons. And it's easy to stay in your own lane and stop comparing yourselves to others, because there really isn't any competition when you look at your business that way. So if you're interested in learning more about values and you would like my help, then follow the links below this video.